Sesame Street is the show that taught so many of us our ABCs.
Don't dance.
But it taught us something even bigger than letters and numbers. It showed us that learning could actually be fun. It could be funny, immersive, and full of music. It proved the TV didn't need to be mind-numbing. It could make us feel more than ever.
Who cares that we're not all the same?
And the best part? Sesame Street never talked down to us as kids. It talked with us, like a friend. And it turned learning into playtime. And somehow, it worked. Kids who watched really did do better in school. Sesame Street has a genuine, research-backed curriculum. And I want to tell you all about it.
Coming soon on Sesame Street.
But first, let me tell you about our sponsor.
Elmo is hoping it's E, like the first letter in Elmo.
The letter E.
Oh, Freddy, good! That was perfect, Mr. Voice!
E for edutainment. Edutainment is entertainment and education all rolled into one. It's not a concept Sesame Street invented, but it did pioneer it and show us exactly how powerful it really is.
This video is also brought to you by the number 1969.
The year Sesame Street was born.
In 1969, not 1970, a year before.
Let's jump into it. Can TV teach? Have you ever had a commercial get stuck in your head? It didn't matter what the product was. It just had to be a catchy jingle.
Skip it, skipping and a screaming and a bop.
The kind you catch yourself singing along with when it came on TV. Or, worse, when you were bored and absolutely nothing brought it up.
I don't wanna grow up.
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
They got the best for so much less.
You'll really flip your lid.
And there you are, thinking of the Mentos ad.
Fresh goes better with Mentos, fresh and volatile. Mentos.
The Bagel Bites jingle.
When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime.
Or even worse, Meow Mix.
Meow 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 meow.
We learn them by heart, maybe even better than songs we choose to listen to.
Double your pleasure, double your fun. That's the statement of the pavement in double mint gum.
This might seem like mind control,
I've heard of subliminal advertising, but this is ridiculous.
and on some level it is.
He's still resisting the advertising. It's time for more drastic measures.
And that's exactly what those ads want.
You just can't get enough. You just can't get enough.
But in the way that matters, it's something else too. It's us learning it through repetition and fun. Would you believe that noticing this is how we got Sesame Street?
Me remembering the most obnoxious jingles imaginable is related to Sesame Street. How exactly?
When you think about it, TV is actually a pretty new medium,
It's brand new.
even if it doesn't feel that way.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
And for roughly, well, almost the entire time we've had TV, we've seen TV as something that makes us dumber. Don't watch too much TV, it'll rot your brain, kid. Don't spend too much time in front of the old boob tube. What a weird way to call TV dumb, isn't it? But that's what people said a lot back in the day when it was new. And frankly, I think we've looped back to that. Thinking of TV as this mindless box of lights flashing before our eyes, making random colors and sounds. I'd argue that's a more accurate description of cell phones lately, but I digress.
Oh, shots fired. I didn't know we were on an anti-cell phone kick.
TV, though, well, can and often is that when people see it that way, but it doesn't have to be. It can even make us smarter. And the best part, it can teach us in a way that's so fun we don't even feel like we're being lectured to.
Oh, cute little guys. I don't believe that.
In 1969, a small team of educators and artists noticed this was possible from seeing how kids could perfectly recite commercial jingles.
I got my baby back ribs.
After seeing them a few times.
They had noticed that kids could repeat beer jingles.
Where there's life, there's fun.
What'll you have?
That's Blue Ribbon.
It was the perfect blend of repetition and fun to get them not only to remember it, but to learn it. Now, what if they did that with something with actual educational value? Like learning their numbers, their ABCs, and how to even deal with difficult emotions. Then they'd really be onto something.
Right, because what everyone wants more of on television is more ads.
The idea for Sesame Street came from two people. Joan Gans Cooney, a TV producer,
recognition of the letters of the alphabet, numbers, basic reasoning skills, and a better awareness of themselves and the world around them.
and Lloyd Morissette, a psychologist. They decided to make the same catchy rhythmic style to make educational commercials, to make them basically a free preschool equivalent instead of selling them cereals or toys. I mean, let's face it, we've all hummed or sang a jingle or two in our lives, so we know exactly how effective this idea is. I'm a 90s kid, and can still perfectly recite to you the Bagel Bites jingle. My best friend will forever know the jingle for Baby Bottle Pop. They even had Ty and Clueless singing along to the Mentos ad.
Fresh goes better with Mentos, fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
Oh, I know a good one. I have structured settlement and I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
That's gonna be stuck in your head all day.
So, with this new idea, they brought together educators, child psychologists, writers, and puppeteers.
We held a series of seminars with the workshop staff and all kinds of teachers and sociologists, child psychologists, literally hundreds of people who know and care about teaching preschool children.
We were all excited about the idea. TV could be more than just the talking box in living rooms that fed nothing but noise and lights to kids. They set out to create a show that could feel like playtime, but secretly function like school.
Every year, when we start a new season, what we do is our curriculum team convenes an all-day seminar, and they basically consult with experts in child development, child psychology, preschool teachers. As the writers work, the curriculum team works in tandem with the production team, and they review all the scripts and give feedback from the educational standpoint.
Sounds like sneaking vegetables into ice cream if you ask me. But oddly enough, it worked.
This may not have been the birth of edutainment, but Sesame Street absolutely is one of its biggest pioneers and likely one of the first truly effective and beloved ones.
No one had ever really aimed any television at these kids, and what they found was, at least in the United States, these kids spent an enormous amount of time watching television.
Because Sesame Street didn't sit kids down and lecture them. It talked with them on their level while being fun. Now, one thing Sesame Street's creators were not willing to take for granted, even from the start, was the puppets.
Because us Muppets are going to be on it every day.
They had the idea to have puppets from the get-go, but only if Jim Henson would do it.
Oh, hold it. Okay, hold everything here. Wait a minute, cool it. What was that last part?
The Sesame Street production team knew exactly who they wanted to work with.
They instantly said, do you think to each other and to me, do you think we could get Jim Henson?
I said that us Muppets are going to be part of the Children's Television Workshop TV show.
It was him or no puppets at all.
They felt so strongly about it. In my proposal, I had said, let's use puppets. They felt so strongly about Jim Henson that they said, if we can't get Jim Henson, we will not use puppets at all.
Oh, yeah? Says who?
What do you mean, says who? Says everybody.
Nobody's talked to me about it.
And I really respect that. They weren't willing to go the lazy sock puppet route, just because it was public TV with a shoestring budget. They knew if they were going to do this, they were going to do it right.
Oh, it sounds like it's going to be a real smash.
And yes, even back then, Jim Henson was the guy to go to if you wanted something with puppets.
That was how head and shoulders he was above any puppeteers in the world, in our view. From that moment, we knew we had a real shot at success.
Oh, he more than earned that crown, and I'm sure we can all agree on that.
Also, did you know it's the 70th anniversary for Jim Henson's Muppets? What a crazy number. I may have to do a whole video on that sometime soon. The Muppets and the magic of character. Obviously, we can't talk about Sesame Street without talking about Jim Henson and how much of an impact he had on the show. Before we started on Sesame Street, Henson had developed a whole new kind of puppeteering style and built for his puppets. Before the Muppets, many puppets were stiff, made of hard materials like wood or paper mache, and were designed to be viewed from a distance on a stage. Henson changed this by making puppets with soft, flexible materials. This made them more expressive, perfect for TV close-ups to show off anything from a wince to a pucker. His early show, Sam and Friends, in the 1950s, is where he first introduced an early version of Kermit the Frog, and set the tone for what would later become the Muppets.
Yeah, that's right.
By the 1960s, the Muppets were appearing on variety shows and commercials. They were strange and funny, even chaotic bits. The proof puppets could easily appeal to adults and kids alike. Back in the days when Cookie Monster was the wheel stealer.
I saw a wheel stealer.
I am a wheel stealer.
From an ad that never aired.
Wheels were basically Cheez-Its from 1966. And after that, he was in an IBM commercial where he ate almost all of a talking machine. I guess it took Cookie Monster a few years to figure out that cookies taste better.
Me guess right! Me get cookie, give me cookie! No.
He also used to have these creepy pointy teeth.
By the time Sesame Street began in 1969, Henson was already known for his unique creative flair and technical ingenuity for these puppets. But unfortunately, puppetry wasn't considered serious art. Likewise, children's television wasn't considered seriously either. But I'd like to think this legendary team-up played a hand in changing how both of them were seen. A major turning point for both.
Well, prithee, here am I downstairs. I believe I shall go upstairs.
Jim Henson didn't just lend characters to the show. He completely changed the show's emotional language by making them an entire Sesame Street family of characters. He and his creative partner Frank Oz helped craft a cast of Muppets specifically for the show who represented something deeply human and relatable. Bert and Ernie modeled friendship and curiosity for opposite personalities. Cookie Monster embodied impulsiveness and joy. Big Bird captured wonder and vulnerability.
So how did you dream up the idea for Big Bird?
One of the thoughts would be to create a character that the child could live through. And so Big Bird, in theory, is himself the child, and we wanted to make this great, big, silly, awkward creature that would make the same kind of dumb mistakes that kids make.
Even Oscar the Grouch made it okay to be cranky sometimes.
Scram!
He said it!
You said scram!
Or maybe it wasn't that deep, and they were just fun, colorful monsters that kids liked.
Those weren't just puppets reciting the alphabet to us. They were emotional mirrors, friends who were just like us, but also fun to watch. They taught us empathy, cooperation, and self-acceptance, often in song. Lessons that are just as foundational as letters and numbers that they taught to us too. This was already innovative on its own, but Henson's artistry also transformed how TV could look. The Muppets lived fully integrated with human actors, and real locations where they could all interact. Puppets used to be far away on stage, but here, Henson created a way for Muppets to walk around the street with all of the people. And on screen, the use of close-ups, expressive design, clever editing made them feel alive in a way audiences have never seen before. I mean, I cannot describe to you how much I relate to Kermit when he's frustrated. That face he makes. You don't think about how he's a puppet being controlled by somebody's hand. You see him and you feel that subtle, frustrated explosion on the horizon. You relate to it, and you probably get a good laugh. I don't think puppets before would have come even close to that. And I say this as someone with a very expressive face.
Yeah, you for sure would be the expert on that.
Henson treated children like a legitimate audience, and never talked down to them or cut corners. He put the same artistic care and respect he would for a show meant for adults. It's a major part of why those old sketches still hold up today. They were made with sincerity, not condescension. Without Jim Henson, Sesame Street would have ended up being just another educational program, perfectly fine but not innovative, and not spanning generations the way it did. With him, it became a neighborhood, one where learning, art, and heart lived side by side. That's what happens when you treat TV as an art form and not just a babysitter. The art of learning, animation, music, and style. The Muppets on Sesame Street were far from the only form of art and creativity on the show, though. One really cool thing that I, as an animator, love is their early segments for things like the letter of the day and learning words. They were almost always made by independent artists, animators, and musicians. They were clever, quirky, and experimental, in a way that could keep someone at any age entertained. They were all different, giving it that variety show feeling back in the day. Some of these segments got used well into the show, so even I saw ones that were probably made back in the 70s, even though I was watching them in the 90s. I specifically remember this alligator one that I must have seen a lot. Episodes were full of short, varied, rhythmic, and playful segments like this, that mirrored the way commercials were structured, the way creators were inspired by. They were short and silly and often filled with rhyming or jingles that were just so mesmerizing to look at. This is what helped kids remember them.
And probably every parent, too. I bet you if I bring up a certain rubber ducky...
Rubber ducky, joy of joys. When I squeeze you, you make noise.
A a lot of parents are gonna have a very specific song start playing in their head.
A great example of this is the way they'd use the letter of the day or the number of the day, and they repeat the same ones over and over during the episode, but with them all being different. It didn't get boring to kids. It just kept helping them remember it. It's like seeing your favorite commercial over and over, and how you learned every word.
Meow, 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 meow. I want chicken, I want liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
And every note.
A baby bottle pop for every C is for cookie.
C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie starts with C.
Not only were these sketches entertaining for kids, but they really do hold up for adults too. And if that didn't do it for the grown-ups there with kids, then the celebrity guests probably did. The street becomes a community. Celebrities, humans, and monsters. Unless you've been living in a trash can, you probably know the Sesame Street has brought on a ton of celebrity guests. I've seen so many great ones online, like Robin Williams, Jack Black, Whoopi Goldberg, and Ben Stiller. Honestly, you name it, celebrities loved being on the show. A huge percentage of the show being made had a celebrity guest, much like The Muppet Show, wanting to be there. Many of them were recent parents and wanted to be on the show their kids were watching. Or just thought it'd be fun, quite frankly. Robin Williams, for example, went on the show multiple times.
And he has probably the funniest blooper I have ever seen.
Thank you, Mr. Robbins.
Mr. Robbins? Taking the stick back, Elmo.
I only had 3 lines!
But celebrity guests were far from the only recurring humans on the show. Since the beginning, Sesame Street has been full of people, though there were more human characters in the early days than there are now. The Muppets went from being special editions to being the majority of the cast. That doesn't make the human characters any less special. There was Gordon, Maria, Bob, real adults that helped to ground these fantasy worlds of monsters, showing us relatable and lovable grown-ups. And of course, other kids that the audience could relate to. When the show adapted to having less humans and more Muppets and digital segments, it was a reflection of the times changing. It was never meant to be a time capsule. It was always meant to grow alongside the kids watching it. People who watched in the 70s had a very different experience than I did in the 90s. And I had a very different experience than the kids watching it today. We may love our own eras most, but they're all great. I was watching around the same time Elmo was first becoming a big deal in the show. Watching the early episodes felt so weird because he felt strangely absent. But they didn't even create him yet.
Sesame Street without Elmo? That is legitimately crazy to me.
I was from the days where Tickle Me Elmo was the most wanted Christmas gift ever.
When we brought him out into the store, we caused a near riot.
And now Elmo is a social media star known for his sass towards Rocco.
Rocks don't do much. They just sit there. You mean like Rocco?
Stupid Rocco.
Times have changed. What Sesame Street taught us, and keeps teaching us. So, Sesame Street taught us the alphabet, and how to count with the count, sure. But it taught us so much more than that. It was the neighborhood that taught us about emotional regulation, empathy, diversity, and inclusion. And I'm not exaggerating. There have been a lot of times where Sesame Street tackled some really difficult topics, from the importance of firemen after 9/11.
Elmo was scared before, but Elmo isn't scared anymore.
You were in a fire before, Elmo. That's a scary thing.
Grief when the actor who played Mr. Hooper died.
Big Bird, when people die, they don't come back.
And they had to explain death to Big Bird. Disability, like when Christopher Reeve came on the show after being paralyzed, and helped normalize his use of a wheelchair.
I'm sorry you had an accident.
Oh, thanks, Ari.
But it's really good that you've got that neat chair.
And so much more. Some of it can even be considered controversial in modern day. Like when they introduced a character with 2 dads.
All our families are so different.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different families.
And they've always done this with care and honesty. It helps kids see these things in the world in a safe and informative way. It helps prepare them for the world around them in an age-appropriate way.
I'll never understand why some people have a problem with that.
Yeah, I got a fair bit of comments in my PBS video about the divide on that. You even made a short on it. This legacy inspired later entertainment shows and heavily informed how they were structured. Shows like Blue's Clues, Dora the Explorer, and Bluey.
You might say that us blue characters are smart cookies.
These kind of shows work because they believe the kids having fun with learning is the best way to reach them. Repetition, creativity, and strong storytelling is what makes the lessons memorable. It helps kids build a connection with the characters, and they want to watch them more. They want to learn with those characters. I think that's something society needs to really remember, because we can't let that concept get lost in this post-Netflix world of Coco Melon and Baby Shark.
Okay, not even I would sing that one.
Please turn that song off.
I can't. It's stuck.
But now we're all thinking about it.
Is there a place for that stuff? I mean, yeah. I'm not looking to abolish all colorful kids shows that don't have educational value. But Bluey, I think, could be the standard, not the exception. The legacy of entertainment. Learning through play. Learning through play-like shows like this is timeless. So why is it that we're seeing less and less of them now? Back in the days before Sesame Street, people saw kids' TV as slop, meant to just sell things to children and distract them for long periods of time. Not unlike how iPads seem to be for the same purpose these days. I'm not about to say this is horrible and we should stop our kids from watching TV. I was a bona fide TV kid growing up, and that would be incredibly hypocritical. Especially as someone who loves TV and wants to make shows more than anything. This isn't a warning or TV recall, it's just a reminder that TV can be more than that for us and for kids. It can be fun, thoughtful, artistic, effective form of media for all of us again. How do we go back to shows like Sesame Street?
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Back to when Sesame Street was new. It did all of that on a shoestring budget, and it was making waves in the industry that we saw for generations. If it's not something that the budget constraints could stop, then we have no excuses not to bring it back now. That kind of creativity. In fact, it probably flourished because of those constraints, as creativity so often does.
Annoying as that can be.
TV can be art, it can be education, it could be both. Sesame Street showed us that. It didn't change TV just for the kids, but TV is a medium. Sesame Street was more than just a preschool show that most of us saw between the ages of 3 and 6. Full of colorful characters we still remember to this day. It taught us that learning can be fun, and that kindness matters. If we're lucky, we never really outgrew Sesame Street. We just take its lessons with us into adulthood. I mean, I don't think all of Elmo, Grover, Bert and Ernie's social media followers are toddlers. And I don't think that it's a stretch. And that's what I wish for all of us. We all have a little monster inside all of us. And that monster wants to learn and grow forever. I think fondly on the neighborhood that showed us that. This video was brought to you by the letter E.
By the letter E.
E for Eli.
The number 1969.
1969, not 1970, but a year sooner.
I dare you try to count that high.
And viewers like you. Thank you for watching. On this channel, we talk about how art and stories shape our world, just like this one. That's all I've got on the entertainment legacy of Sesame Street. So we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.